Oh, I know what it is. Here we go. That should do it. Okay, so is that any better? Because I had the video capture device, so my camera was also picking up audio on top of my desktop mic. So hopefully that fixed it. Again, I'm new to OBS and all that stuff, but this is a direction I kind of have to go with the channel and live streaming because algorithms, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So I got to keep an eye on the chat. Joe, thanks for letting me know. I have to stay on top of these things. So back to the video. Hey, it's better? Yes. Yes. I know what I'm doing. Okay, so when coming up with the idea, we were watching, my wife and I, a little backstory on the video. We were watching a video of this Japanese guy who makes knives out of a whole bunch of random stuff. And one of his videos, he made a crazy sharp, like working functional knife out of pasta. And I had already been making videos on YouTube and kind of exploring different ideas. So my wife tells me, hey, you should make a computer out of pasta. That'd be funny. And I'm like, hey now, that's not such a bad idea. A crazy idea, but not a bad idea. So then I started planning the video, and I was going to have another friend help me with it, but he was too busy to do it. Hopefully he makes his version at some point. But I decided to just do it on my own after a while because I just wanted to do it. I really wanted to do it. It was going to be super helpful to me if I could make it. When it comes to like completing projects, it really helps you mentally to just go and do it and make it happen. So that's what I did. So I kind of figured like how I wanted it to look and all that stuff. And it was just like laughing the whole way through because it is kind of a stupid idea. But then I imagined how I don't think I ever drew out what I would do. I was just kind of like, oh, this is the size of the motherboard and everything, so I'll just have to make sure that the pasta fits it. So lasagna strips it was, and there we go. But, I mean, the whole conception of the idea, I'm like, okay, people are going to think this is funny. It's going to be enjoyed. People are going to have fun watching me make something stupid. It's not that it's, like, really that impressive, but it was more for entertainment than anything. And that's what YouTube's all about. And I got a lot of comments about my video being too clickbaity with the title. They're like, oh, it's not made out of pasta. It's a case made out of pasta. But, I mean, by that logic, I mean, it's kind of silly. There's some cars that are the same exact, like, innards. For example, like a Mercury Sable and a Ford Taurus. They're pretty much the same exact car, but they're called different things because of what's on the outside. So it's like kind of like the culmination of the whole thing. I mean, yeah, the case was made out of pasta, but in essence, it became the pasta PC. You don't just go calling it by the CPU. So anyway, I mean, if you thought I was going to make an actual motherboard out of pasta, you're living in a different world, and I'm sorry that's just not possible. But anyway, yeah, so it bred a lot of heated arguments there. And if you're wondering what I'm drinking LaCroix, or as the real French people call it, La Croix. Not sponsored. Anyway, so I knew that it would get views, so I made it. Showed the whole process. I wanted to show as many different creative angles as possible. You know, keep people along. In the future, I'll definitely make a shorter video because it was a little bit too long for some people, which is understandable. But once it was designed and done, I actually really spent a lot of time editing this video. Like between filming it and making sure I didn't just rush it, I wanted to make sure that in the end it was something that I was really happy with. And a lot of the scenes where I'm like ripping my shirt and boiling it were all very improvised. Like I didn't know I was going to do that until it happened. And I just kind of like felt in the moment and made those things happen. And sometimes you just gotta like let loose when you make a video. Don't try to be too scripted. Just have more fun when you're making it. So yeah, that's what I gained out of it. So once it was done and edited, I knew that like the very beginning of posting it was going to be crucial to getting it to go and be seen and get viral, because the algorithm likes, the crucial beginning moments, especially within the first week, to know where to place this video. So it was a Tuesday night, and by the time I was done, I uploaded at like 11:30, but I didn't want to post anything at 11:30 at night because I knew that, at least in my time zone, a lot of people were starting to go to bed and it just wasn't the right time. So I posted it and then kind of like left it there. And then the next day, early in the morning, I got up on Reddit and looked at every subreddit I could that had to do with tech and like tech fails or like DIY tech or just like ridiculous stuff that I knew would be, I don't know, like I knew that it would get flared on and people would find it interesting, because Reddit is like kind of a make or break tool when it comes to YouTube or just anything in general, because the people there are mean. They're like so passionate about whatever the subject is that they're looking up, that they're on that thread for. And if you are not on the subject, they will destroy you. So you have to be very choosy about which threads you post it to and make sure that you follow the rules, because a lot of times there's really strict rules about posting in the threads. So I think I posted in a lot of threads, but I don't think I ever got taken out of one. Maybe just one that was deleted on. But I put it on DIY fails, or DIY, like DIY, like why would you do that, and DIY not. And then tech support, MacGyver, it did really well on. Had like a lot of upvotes, just because the community there was interested in it, so they were like sharing it within themselves. One thing I learned about Reddit is, because it is the front page of the internet, if your post does really, really well, it turns out reporters watch that. So if it's on a subject matter like that, that their news company or whatever is related to, they kind of watch those threads, since that's where a lot of trending stuff gets like brought to first. And within 18 hours, there was 3 articles written about this video. Let's go over and look at it. We're gonna switch cameras to desktop. Hey, it worked. But okay, that's a little awkward, because my main screen that this is screen capturing from is larger than the OBS screen, so it's a little awkward. But anyway, you see a few of them. So The Pedestrian was one of the first ones. It's an Australian news company, and they wrote their article, and it was hilarious. PC Gamer also wrote an article, and that article was like super generous. I got so much attention from PC Gamer, it was ridiculous, because I mean, it's PC Gamer. And then Motherboard, they posted it from, they're from, who are they from? Vice. Yes, that's right, Vice. So Motherboard and Vice wrote an article. They were one of the first ones as well. And yeah, April 17th at 6:02. So they all kind of wrote it at the same time and posted my video to their websites. All because of Reddit. Yeah, so we'll go back there. And then we'll go back to camera. So from there, I got a lot of views because people subscribe to these newsletters and, check them regularly because they like to post good content. And then I just like the views just flooded in. Like, I think by 6 p.m. on Wednesday, I had around 7,000 views or so, and that was already like really good for my first day. I'd never had gotten that many views in one day before. But by the next day, I was up to like 30,000. And then it kept growing from there, and it was ridiculous. And then all these other news articles got posted about it, and it just kept going. So Unilad, they actually emailed me asking me about it, I think Wednesday morning. A few other companies, PC Welt's a German company, Gamerant, Eurogamer, Tom's Hardware from like Italy. Of course, Italy. That makes perfect sense. So I had a good bit of attention from the media because mostly of Reddit, and then from people finding out about it, then they would share it with friends, and that's just how it worked. But I like when you hear about people talking about videos that go viral, they usually talk about how it was overnight and that, you know, they just woke up the next morning and it had 1 million views, that kind of thing. I watched it the entire time from beginning to end. Like, not to be like self-absorbed or anything like that, but I was like watching it because this is business to me. Like, this isn't just about attention or anything like this. Like, this is going to be income in the near future for me. So I was just kind of like fanning the flames, and I made sure like the whole time I responded to pretty much every single comment from Reddit, Facebook, Twitter. Like, whenever someone mentioned it, I would check and I would try to respond to them to show engagement, to show I cared, which would make people subscribe because they're like, oh, this guy actually cares, I'm going to subscribe to him. So I made sure that I just like fanned the flames, and it felt like I was trying to like slowly stoke a fire, not like too hard or anything like that. And I wanted to really grow it and let it burn. So that was my experience with it. It was really fun and just bizarre and crazy, but it's I don't know if it's just me, but it's amazing like how used to it you get. Like, at first it was just like, I can't believe this is happening, and then like a few days later I'm like, yep, okay, so that article wrote, okay, good, this is progress, good. And it was just like it became like a thing, and I don't know, that's that's just me, I guess. I don't know, but now it's coming to where I'm gonna go with it in the future, because it's kind of been known that on my channel I usually just review tech, and I've gotten a lot of items from sellers on Amazon who want me to review their tech. I'm trying to like lean more away from that, because at first it was good because it was attention, because people would search for that stuff, but only people who would search for those specific items would come to me. And once it's done, it's done. And a lot of times I would make revenue from Amazon affiliates off of those products. So people would buy it because they watched my video and liked it, and then they would buy the product, and then I'd get kickbacks. It's good, but it's still kind of limited. It's not that I'm not going to do reviews anymore. I'm just going to be much more selective about the reviews that I do. And because of that, I'm going to try to refocus my channel and do more creative builds, kind of like the Pasta PC, maybe shorter. I have no shortage of ideas on weird things to make and do, so stay tuned. I already have the next one planned. Before that, I have a review video on the Parrot Anafi. It's a kind of underrated drone from a French company that is really awesome competition for the Mavic drones, and I don't think it gets enough attention, and I've been using it a lot for work, and it's just a great drone, and I'm going to share my thoughts on it, but also share what it does. And it's kind of cool because it has like a follow me feature, and in the video I'm like climbing a cliff like 1,000 feet up, and the drone is following me while I'm climbing. So stay tuned for that. It's definitely going to be fun to watch. But after that, I do have plans for a phone this time. I'm going to be making a phone, not a computer. And it's going to Joe. If you're still in the chat, Joe, shout out to you. It's going to him. He's always breaking his phones. So I'm going to build him as indestructible of a phone as I can make. Because Lego. So yeah, that's what's next. So I'm going to try to do more creative stuff like that. And I'm going to try to convey my personality more through the videos as well, because my channel is more about like creativity and technology combined, because those are my two real passions when it comes to stuff. I like making things, but I don't like just doing one thing over and over again. So I will still try to show lessons on how to use different programs for creativity. I will talk about cameras a bit. I'm not going to be like a sole like videographer camera thing, because I watch a lot of those channels and a lot of them just kind of regurgitate the same stuff over and over again. So I'm going to try to maintain a creative flow that people can follow and grow accustomed to on the channel. So that's what you can look forward to. All right. What else? What else we got to talk about? I wrote 3 things down on a piece of paper about what to talk about. And I think I've mostly covered any of it, unless there's any questions in the chat that people want to leave with me. What time are we? We're 19 minutes into the stream, which really isn't that long. But it is the first, so, whatever. Let's see. I'm glad that the audio got fixed. YouTube groups, I'm going to mention, they can be useful. They're not, with any community, there's some issues with it. A lot of people are just in it for the sub for sub thing, and there's some that make for good communities, but I've noticed it's been a little hit or miss. There's more people that just want handouts when it comes to views than actual people who are wanting to collaborate and help each other. So it is okay, but I haven't found too much success in it much myself. Most of my success came from the Reddit threads and just utilizing the algorithms as best as you can, which I guess I should mention. So with comments, TubeBuddy is a cool tool to use when you're trying to see how your videos and your channel is doing, because TubeBuddy will show the ranking of the tags that you have and where you rank with them, so you can know how well they're actually doing, and use as many tags as you can. And it will suggest a few of them, but it doesn't suggest that for the free version. You'll get a few suggestions for tags, which I've used, but then if you pay for TubeBuddy, then it'll give you automated tag suggestions based on your content. But yeah, just think about the different topics and who you want to see your videos and what they might be searching for. They don't have to be super directly related to your types of videos, but at least somewhat related. And then one thing that I think people ignore is editing their closed captions. It is super important because a lot of what Google does with the algorithm in telling whether your video is relevant or not is it actually does kind of like a voice-to-text thing where it breaks down your voice into a text document, which it uses for the automated closed captioning. And when it takes that information, it uses that and it reads the words in there and the structure of your video and everything, which means that if your video is off topic a lot of the times and not relating to the title of your video, then sometimes it won't help the search results. And one thing that editing them does is that if it mistranslates words you say, if there's a model number of a product or whatever you're talking about, or a product that has a different type of spelling than one would use in normal speech, if you edit those and fix it, then Google knows that you're talking about something specific. So you could say PlayStation 4, and then it could separate PlayStation and then 4. It could do that. It probably won't, or Xbox or things like that. Sometimes, even if you speak with a little bit of an accent or a slur or just aren't speaking clearly, sometimes it will misrepresent what you're saying. So if you go in and edit your closed captions, it will help the algorithm know what you're talking about. You don't have to go through the entire thing. Is that coconut? Yes, it is coconut seltzer. Will you do more instructional videos? Yes, I will. I will do more instructional videos. If you have suggestions of what you'd like to learn, you may comment them and ask me about them, and I could do them in the future. I know a lot of people one video I did of a computer build That's kind of like the $750 price range. And they like that video, but it's already like a year and a half old and kind of outdated. So I need to make a new version of that with a new list, and that's, you know, more relevant to today because a lot of people have actually like bought parts from it. Another thing people like on my channel so far is the Anime Studio tutorials. I'm probably gonna have to do more of that because people like that. It's now Moho Studio, but the Anime Studio Pro 11 is the cheaper version. So things like that. I'll probably do instructions on this. Like, a lot of people try to sell the information I'm trying to tell you, but I don't think that's right. A lot of it is just regurgitated crap, where it's just like the same things over and over again. But I'm finding success in some areas, and I'm not trying to really sell it. I'm just trying to help. And I don't think I'll ever do anything like that. Do you have PC build on a budget type videos? I have 3, I think. I did like an ultra cheap, like $350 one, or $370 one, which is all of my videos on PC builds are kind of outdated. A lot of the principles are the same. You just kind of like swap out parts for what they are now. But if you don't know what you're looking for, sometimes that's kind of an issue. But I do have more information now about it. I know more about the topic. So I will be making some new budget PC build videos at some point soon, I hope. I've actually got a friend coming in June, and I think I'm going to be building him a computer, so maybe I'll do one with that in mind. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll do more overviews on that to help someone who wants to build a computer, because I definitely know a thing or two about that. But yeah, I mean, you can still watch the videos. Like I said, the principles are the same. It's just I kind of have to update what's on the list because new stuff has come out. Like almost 2 new generations since then have come out. But yes, coconut seltzer, it's the stuff. I prefer Polar over LaCroix, honestly. Their toasted coconut tastes a little better than this one, I think. In my own personal opinion. How much of a delay do we have here? That's one thing I was curious about. It looks like there's like a good 20-second delay almost from what I say to what goes in the video. Stream. Yeah, it's like almost 30 seconds or so. All right. I think that's all about what I wanted to cover in this live stream. I will do more because live streams do help. Like YouTube wants you to do live streams, so they like push a lot of that stuff up, and they use a lot of what you say in the videos to help your channel. And I'm really trying to grow the channel because #monetization. So I will be doing more of these in the future to cover different subjects. More of a chat type thing. Maybe I'll do timestamps in the post for the different subjects I talk about, so that people aren't just sitting through a half hour of chatting. But I can do that. I'm okay with chatting. Some things are Zach! Game! It's Zick! I could game, it's off topic for my channel, so YouTube will punish me. I don't want to be punished by YouTube and the holy algorithm. That algorithm, man, it takes time to learn, but I feel like I've got a handle on it, and I understand how it works now, so I'm going to be trying to tamper with it a little bit more, which is why I'm going to be doing more live streams. I'm going to try to make them shorter. But if you want a subject for the next one, leave a comment. I'm going to wrap this up. We're at 28 minutes. I'll keep it at a half hour. But I thank everyone who joined me and left comments. It was great talking with you guys. You're immortalized in this video now because it's going up afterward. So everyone will see your comments now. But yeah. Thank you for joining me. We'll see you guys in the next stream.